Oh, yeah. It's another episode of Sonic Saturator, and we are bringing the sugar sweet to you tonight. I am your host, Vandy, and I am joined by Aaron. The C, does it stand for Candy Makes You Dandy?
Yes,
Schroeder.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's Sonic
boy.
Saturator. Here we go.
Let's do it. Episode 3. Feeling it? Loving it?
That's right. Third episode. You know what they say in sports?
What?
Once you hit the third game and get that win, that's a streak, baby.
Hey, Mariners did that, I'm pretty sure. How about them
Watch out.
Stros?
That's a sore subject. We're going to keep it sweet and on candy today. We're not getting sour. We're not going to get sour. Oh,
so
man.
funny.
Here we are. So, yeah, as you know, we finished up episode 2, Pet Sounds, and I thought I'd kick us off with a little bow, wow, wow.
Is that?
I want candy.
I was going to ask who
You
this
know?
was because I always forget. You know, we spent time in the quote-unquote dirty South together, and so I
That's
always
right.
think of Bow Wow Wow as Little Bow Wow.
Lil Bow Wow.
It's just
Not
like-
the same artist.
Not the same at all. Well, I had a blast putting my list together. How did you fare with your list?
Oh, man, I had so much fun. I did change my list up several times.
Yeah? What happened?
You know, I kind of started out taking a cue from how you ended episode 2, thinking that this might spark some risque songs, and I was like, huh. So as I put my list together, I kind of started thinking about, you know, on like maybe Friday night, you get to watch HBO if you had cable, that kind of thing. It starts off real family friendly.
Uh-huh.
And then by that 10 to midnight hour, it gets a little bit more sultry.
Yep.
And my playlist does just the same.
Awesome. We had our classic Skinamaxes, what was it? Oh gosh. I forget what HBO was. But Skinamax is the best version of that late night.
No, yeah.
Dude. Being a teenage boy in the 90s with Cinemax.
The kids today will never know the struggle.
Trust me, boys, it was sugar sweet.
Oh, man.
Gross, gross.
So, yeah, had a good time putting together this playlist. Schroeder, what you got for us tonight?
Well, okay. So yours is just still candy based. It just gets a little bit more risque as it goes deep, huh?
Absolutely. So whether it, it's kind of my style, whether it's in the song, the band name, maybe the album title,
Sure.
something's going to call to that theme, and it's probably going to be a banger. So that's kind of my style.
Well, as I do, I tried to get a little heady with it and didn't go as heady as last time because for real, Pet Sounds so cerebral to a certain degree for me.
What an educational episode.
Yeah, but today, so Sugar Sweet, you're right. I did mention at the end of last episode that I was probably going to get a little NC-17. But like you, I completely changed course. I've discovered what ends up happening with me is that I sit there and stew on the two, on however many on the theme. I just stew with those words for like 4 days, just thinking about what it could mean. This one, Sugar Sweet, you try to hit it from every angle, and then finally the one that I landed on was, what's the most iconic sugar sweet thing out there, and that's bubblegum. And so my entire theme is going to be bubblegum music, but specifically from 1967 to 1970, which is the heyday of what I would consider legit bubblegum. One such song is by this band, the 1910 Fruit Gum Company. This is Simon Says.
Oh, nice. So this is legitimately like a commercial jingle we got going here?
Right, okay. So out of the gate, you can already kind of tell what bubblegum means. It's all about selling, and specifically selling to those pre-teens. Because we're talking like, this is the end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s. There's like a lot of uncomfortable things going on in the world. And a couple of guys got hip and were like, well, what if we just made something that's nice? And so it kind of caught on. This one was actually produced by the two guys who were like, what if we made stuff that was just nice? And their names are Kazanettes and Cats. They also go by Super K Productions. This is also released on what is known as kind of the preeminent bubblegum label of its time, Buddha Records.
Okay.
Which was...
What was that record company?
Buddha. But get this,
Buddha Records.
It's a subsidiary of Kama Sutra Records.
Goodness.
Yeah, and Kama Sutra Records was inside a building that we will get into later on, that basically was, it was based in New York City, and it was where so many teams of these songwriters and just publishing companies all lived and had businesses in this building, and then the basement was a recording studio owned by Buddha Records. So it's just...
Oh, nice.
It's just a factory for music
like
this. But so,
yes,
this
absolutely.
this song is kind of considered like, okay, now we understand what bubblegum is, and it is a concept, and now everybody's hip to it and trying to get in on that action.
Wow.
But
so
yeah,
in a tumultuous time, they said, we need a little sugar on the tongue.
Right.
Or maybe the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, man, my next track fits kind of right in with the vibe you brought. This one is called, before there was Snoop D-O double G, there was Hank Ballard and the Midnighters with Sugar Double E. Sugary, sugary. 1959, dude.
Wow.
And speaking of like hit factories, right? Same scenario. Who's the producer? Hard to say. You just came in, whoever the engineer was there, you're laying your tracks, you're going to lay your hit and then hope for the best. And Hank Ballard did it really well. In fact, you might know Hank Ballard more commonly from a little ditty called The Twist, because he was in on that one.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Detroit, 1959. I mean, tasty sugary.
Can you imagine just that area at that time? It was just filled with like some of the best. Would you consider this early form rock and roll, or I mean, obviously it's early form rock and roll, but would you call it like garage rock at this point, or is it rhythm and blues?
Very good point, Schroeder. This is actually a track written by Marty Robbins, a country singer.
Oh.
And before he made it popular, Hank Ballard and the Midnighters caught on and put it out and made it a little single out of that track, and it did all right.
That's amazing.
You wouldn't think this is a Marty Robbins track the way Hank Ballard brings it to you.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing that I found with mine as well, is that it's a lot of people who are writing the songs, but then once it's put into the studio, it kind of gets a little bit of a flex and a rework through the musicians that kind of help steer it. I have in fact, that Simon Says it began as a calypso tune.
Oh, nice.
And then the band were like, they reworked it. It was a whole situation. I could do an entire podcast on that band.
Oh, nice. But yeah, man, it's fun. It's innocent. I'm sure it was risque for the time, but now not quite moving that needle these days, is it?
Dude, you know what though? I don't know. What was nice about this episode, because I was listening to a genre that I find to be grotesque in current modern forms from like the 90s forward, is that at the time period, they were not considered cool, but it's still, you listen back to it now and it's hip. And to me, this sounds exactly like what I want, I'm assuming, please, dear baby Jesus, Little Richard shows up in your list.
You'll have to wait and find out, just like the rest of the audience.
That's right. Okay. But yeah, he gives it that was that vibe. I got a really nice. I love that era of rock and roll, though. So
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, to the point of there, like all of my songs too. There was a period of time where I went kind of bananas on just buying up every garage rock compilation I could get from this era, and lo and behold, so much on there actually fit into the genre bubblegum as well, which was weird. But so this next one, same label, still on Buddha. This actually introduces a kid named Joey Levine as the singer and also the songwriter. This is the Ohio Express with Yummy, Yummy, Yummy.
Oh, in my tummy. Let's go.
But listen, I mean, it's rocking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's goofy, right? It's
know
meant for
this
little
track.
kids. But, like, it still kind of rocks. But this song, what's great is this song was actually ranked in the second position in Dave Barry's Book of Bad Songs, which I think is great. Because I'm also like, it's kind of a ripper in my book today.
Yeah.
But funny enough, the B-side, so a lot of also what I'm playing comes from 45s. So the B-side to this 45 was actually a reworking of a song. They called it, the Ohio Express called it Zigzag, but it was a reworking of a Fruit Gum Company track that was called Poor Old Mr. Jensen. And they actually played the whole song backwards. And so that's the B-side to this. But then what's really hip about this track is that opening guitar riff and drum thing that we were listening to. I was not able to get a second opinion, but there is citation that the Beatles did actually borrow that intro for back in the USSR. But
really?
Also, for very sure, the Cars used it for their song, Just What I Needed, which then got covered by Fountains of Wayne with Stacy's mom.
Yes.
So this song is responsible also for Stacy's mom in a weird way, which I think is just super funny.
Dude, you can totally hear it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, if you don't know Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's mom, this is right in line.
But yeah, so this is Joey Levine and also Arthur Resnick. These two guys, what we're going to learn while we listen through my tracks is it's a lot of the same people because, again, they're all in the same building making these songs.
Right.
And
it's Hit Factory, baby.
And it's publishing companies, It's like, it's paralleled to the way Spotify works today. It's kind of insane. It's just the analog version of it, where it is just... there's 20 different publishing companies, and they have like 20 different writers, and everybody's just churning out 20 songs a day. The singers come in, record, as many in a matter of days, and then they just throw them out with random names and see which one gets a hit.
See what sticks, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't sound too different to today's music business model, does it?
No, not at all.
Oh, all right, man. Well, I'm going to keep it in that whole vinyl era. I know we have played the Wailers before, which obviously became Bob Marley and the Wailers. But
that's right.
After Bob Marley and the Wailers, the Wailers were dropped, and he went on tour with three ladies known as the I3s. Of these I3s, there was one Marcia Griffiths. And she put out a fantastic album I have in my collection called Sweet and Nice. And this is her cover of Here I Am, Come and Take Me. Because that's what Candy says to you, right?
Yeah.
It looks at you. in that glistening wrapper. And it's like, hey, I see you from across the room.
Bro.
Here I am.
Hey.
Come and take me.
Dude, all I know is if you put a bucket of Werther's Originals in front of me, I'm gobbling them all down.
Yeah, man. So when the Bob Marley tracks that most people are aware of, where it's just Bob Marley, his backing vocalist is 3 ladies. One of them he did marry and was married to for a while.
Right.
Not Marcia Griffiths, but this is Marcia Griffiths' album. It's got a couple of covers on it, and some originals. And just come on.
Is she Jamaican?
Oh yes, sir.
And this was recorded in Jamaica as well, then?
Oh yes, sir.
It's so
in
Western.
1974, yeah, 1974, recorded at the Jamaican Studios in Kingston.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. But it was one of those things. I think I was probably in a record shop and I've heard it playing. I was like, asked the workers, like, yo, what's happening here? And it's like, oh, it's Marcia Griffiths. She used to sing behind Bob Marley. I was like, show me where this record's at. And I brought it home.
Nice.
So,
I, whenever I will fill in at Hex for the homies from time to time, there have been a few occasions where I've had that happen with someone who comes in, but I'm playing the only copy. And so I have to be like, ugh, fine. I had to sell them the copy. Like, I was listening to this asshole.
A total, that's a high fidelity moment, is it not?
Yeah. Dude, every time I'm
you
there.
sell them the only copy that the shop has.
Yeah. Every time I'm there, I try to use some high fidelity quote in some kind of a way, just because it's too funny. I'm obsessed with this drummer, dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh, wow. This got covered by multiple. I know this song. Who's covered this song?
Absolutely, you know. Oh, I didn't. This is not the most commonly heard version of
course,
this single, but it is Marcia Griffiths' version, and I love it.
So she didn't even record this originally. Even obviously, it was written by someone else.
Her song.
Okay, so this is one of the songs.
A couple of covers on this record.
Okay, this being one of them. Yeah. Because, I've heard another version of this where, as soon as she hit that hook. The backbeat on this drums has got me hooked.
Oh, yeah, dude. Come on now. That bass.
Yeah.
Get it?
Do we know anything about the studio band? I mean, they're obviously... They must be studio cats down there, right? Because they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a writer coming in, the producer, the band. She sings and hit another five.
It's Kingston, right? It's probably very similar scenario, just more tropical than Detroit.
Yeah, fascinating. I would have never guessed that came out of Jamaica.
Marcia Griffiths, definitely check her out.
Wonderful. That was beautiful. All right, well, so... Those 2 last songs that I played, those define bubblegum. But there was a song that kind of lit the spark. And that was Tommy James and the Shondells. I think we're alone now. This is 1967. Yes. Fun fact, this bass line is actually a guitar. Tommy James had to play it because the bass player just didn't come to the gig. So it's a guitar that they messed with really extremely.
Okay.
But this one was written by a Richie Cordell and a Bo Gentry. Bo Gentry will show up again if I remember to bring him up.
Okay.
But unfortunately... Gentry was under a contract with Kama Sutra, so he was not allowed to have his credits on this song, so it is credited to Richie Cordell only. Those crickets, I love that. But he did still get royalties. Gentry still did get royalties for the song, which is dope.
Okay.
This was actually also another one of those scenarios where when they brought it in, it was originally a really mid-tempo ballad. And Tommy James was just not having any part of that. Quote, he said, "No way," and I sped it up. I put on a nasally, juvenile sounding vocal, and without realizing it, we invented bubblegum. Another thing I learned about this genre is everyone's got a really big head on how important they were to the process.
I got you, yeah.
But yeah.
There's the crickets.
Whenever they had this hit, basically, who was it? Gentry was dating someone named Joanna and did that quintessential, very classic, very sexy move of calling her on the phone and singing it to her. Which is one of my favorite factoids about that track. Which is like, I have been in rooms with the homies when they want to swoon a lady, and it's just like, all right, let's do this, brother.
Sometimes you've got to sing someone a song. Sometimes it's more about the rhythm and the beat that you bring. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this too much, but we're going to turn it up a notch right here. Very similar to Marshall Griffith's Here I Am, Come and Take Me. That sentiment, but a little more modern and a little more something going on. This is Kellis with Milkshake.
No. Kesha.
Yes. No, sir. This is called Milkshake.
By whom?
Please tell me you honestly think this is called Ketchup.
No, I said Kesha. I thought this song was...
No, it's Kellis. I thought you said Ketchup.
Oh, that's so funny.
Do you think I didn't do my homework?
Well, this is an artist that I thought Uli really loves, but I guess not. Yeah. Dude. This honestly is some of my favorite production from the era because it's so stripped down and stripped out. But it's got like all the fun rhythmic elements that you want without getting a whole bunch of synthesizers and that kind of stuff going, you know?
Yeah, you're right about that. There's not a lot of extra going on. Do you have an inkling of who helped bring this track to life?
I mean, I would presume a Pharrell or a Timbaland.
Dude, you nailed it on the first guess.
Yeah.
The Neptunes, man. Pharrell and Chad Hugo.
Right. You know,
nailed it on the first guess.
My belief is that they were hardcore Drumline fans, or one of them had to have been in Drumline, because that's all their productions, right? It takes those elements of like that bombosity of a big drum band plowing down. Oh.
Do you know this reached number 3 on the Billboard 100?
I could believe it. I could definitely believe it.
But there's another reason I brought this track to you, Schroeder. There's a story I'd like to tell you.
Oh, hit me.
I'm a big fan of Sad Bastard music.
We all know that.
And one of those folks that are on my Mount Rushmore of Sad Bastard music is Tim Kasher of Cursive. And if you've seen Cursive in the past few years, you may have caught them on tour where randomly during a set, in between tracks, he starts strumming his guitar and starts singing My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard, and everybody just starts dying laughing because you've got Tim Kasher of Cursive singing Milkshake to a bunch of emo kids, and it was such a humorous moment, and it made me think of this track, and I had to tell that story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care how sad you are, a bop is a bop, and we all know
it. A bop is a bop.
You know? So, like, there's reasons why all the sad bastards are still alive. It's because of Milkshake.
Oh, the old Milkshake.
Oh, Milkshake.
Watch out.
All right. So this next one, and I should remind the listener, all of these bands, these are band names. there are real humans playing the instruments, but they are not actually bands. These are all fake bands. There is a writer that works for the publisher. There is hired musicians that come into the studio, and then a dime a dozen singers whose it could be anybody that walks in. It's whoever's got the best voice for it. It does not matter.
Who's chasing the dream?
But this next one, also 1967.
Okay.
Also, this was the first number, speaking of top 100s on the Billboard Hot 100s, this was Buddha's first #1 hit. And this is kind of what allowed them to keep that bubblegum thing going. This is the Lemon Pipers with their track, Green Tambourine. And there will be a tambourine at some point, I totally promise. And it's fine.
Hey, they're carrying over the triangle from Kellis's milkshake track to this one.
I call it a donkey tail. I don't know why. But as I said, this is the first #1 hit for Buddha Records. The writer is Paul Lika and Shelley Pinz, Pinz. She actually wrote the lyrics to this song while standing in front of the mysterious great building I brought up earlier, which is known as the Brill Building. She was out front. There was a dude who had a tambourine. He was asking for money, and if you gave him money, he'd play the tambourine. So she went inside. Right. She wrote a song about it.
Heck yeah.
And this is that.
This definitely has more of a psychedelic feel to it than the previous tracks.
So again, this is 1967. So this song is more important to Bubblegum for the fact that it made a bunch of money. And it made them understand exactly what the structure is. But because of its time period, it had the two very noticeable things that psychedelic pop had at that time, which is Space Echo and electric sitar. Because you need to have a sitar if you're going to be psychedelic in the 60s. Thanks, Beatles.
Thanks, Beatles.
Yeah. Fun fact about this one, though, is that in 2001, Robert Goulet recorded a version of this for the movie Recess, School's Out.
Yes.
But
that's incredible,
that
man.
delay into this weird, I mean, that drum sounds so funky and gross. It's obviously a tabla being played by someone who does not get how tablas are played. But yeah, so this song is what led to Buddha funding the tracks and putting out the tracks, Simon Says, and Yummy, Yummy, Yummy. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Is history. Gets down the tummy. There's no turning back. All right, Schroeder, I'm going to just palate cleanse my whole session. We're going to shift a little bit. It's going to be modern. And I'm just going to bring it to you.
Shake it up and shake it off.
The sweetness. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Dude. You know, I'm going to, before you give information on the song, one of my favorite all-time human memories as a person growing up in this wild and wacky world. The Soda Surge had a compilation CD that I got in the mail. I don't even know how I got it. It just arrived one day. But it had Jimmy Eat World's track 17 with the original lyrics. And from that point forward, I was no looking back. I was Jimmy Eat World, start to finish. I did dip off around this album. I think this is the last one I ever owned.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I got you.
That's my story. Love Jimmy Eat World.
How much
Clarity,
Surge
baby.
did you drink as a kid to get sent this in the mail? Did you
I
drink
don't know
a fair
how.
amount?
I think it must have been one of those things where they got a list through the school or something. The only other memory I have about Surge was that their was a promotion going on with Little Caesars that you could buy surges at Little Caesars, and like 1 in 10 would have free pizza. So me and 2 of my buddies would go to the Little Caesars down by this music store that we always hung out at, and we would just buy like 8 surges until we got a couple of free pizzas, and then we would just have the pizzas. But you couldn't keep the bottle
right
caps.
there.
You'd have to hand over the bottle caps. So we'd be sitting in, like a shopping mall's parking lot with 3 free pizzas and a whole bunch of bottles of Surge with no caps, and we're just
That's awesome.
Also,
Yes.
production, single note, piano like that.
Yes.
I
that
use it
ding,
all
ding,
the
ding,
time.
ding, ding.
I steal that. I mean,
Do you?
obviously, it's no new trick. They didn't invent it, but like, it always works
Right,
for
right.
energy. It's like such a great energy builder.
Always works for me. I got you. Well, you know what? They sure brought the energy on this one. And I felt like it was probably out of dire necessity, because this is right after they were dropped by Capitol.
Right.
Because Clarity did not do as hot as a major label maybe wanted it to do.
Right.
And even though it is a stellar album,
Yes.
they were dropped by Capitol. And they actually funded the beginnings of making this record until they found someone to help them release it.
And this is Bleed American,
And
right?
it's an amazing record. It was originally titled Bleed American. There was some issue with that around the September 11th tragedy that took place. And for a while, it was just self-titled. And then some recent, I don't know exact year, but they brought the Bleed American title back.
Yeah.
Which I feel is appropriate. I mean, it's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's a great album. I don't think anyone's offended by that at all.
No.
Amazing record.
It is.
And a killer sweet track.
Yeah, I love it, dude. And also, that was an interesting time period because there were a whole lot of indie rock bands at that time period that were getting a lot of guff because of their band names around the 9/11.
Burning Airlines.
Yeah, around the 9/11 situation.
Remember Burning Airlines? That was an issue.
And then also
there's a metal band called ISIS. They run
Yep,
into issues
yep.
as of not too
Yeah.
far along. So yeah, that can cause an issue for some folks.
Yeah, and then to the other point, it's not like when Capitol dropped Jimmy Eat World, like that was something random, because all the majors were clear cutting those indie rock quote unquote
Right. Oh, yeah,
emo
totally.
bands, because those bands were only ever going to sell. Yeah, they were only ever going to sell 10,000 copies, at best, anyways. I'm sure some of them. I'm sure Jimmy Eat World sold 100,000 copies of something by now. But
I'm sure.
yeah, I mean, it was just a culling of the herd at that point. It was really, honestly, I think it was for the better, because it re-incentivized independent music. Whereas
I hear you.
that
Yeah,
middle
there were
era
some
of the
changes
90s.
after that happened, for sure.
Yeah, the middle era of the
Yeah.
90s was all about selling out. Yuck. Yuck. We need to teach kids what selling out means, because they just don't get it anymore. They're like, no, I'm going to
Hey,
be 5
look.
and work at Microsoft.
Are you requesting a ska session so that we
No.
can play some Real Big Fish?
Brother, I swear to Jesus, if you ever play third wave ska, I will murder someone. Yes, did I listen to Real Big Fish in high school? Of course, we all did. Less Than Jake.
Of course
baby.
you
Little
did.
Glow Skulls. But we
Yes,
ain't got no
sir.
time for that, because, we got to
We don't have any time for that anymore. We put silly things aside. We're grown-ups now.
Yeah, because put those silly things aside, because we need to talk about a band called the Castanets Cats Singing Orchestral Circus. This is that duo. I'm just gonna call them Super K from here on out, because they show up a lot. They are the
Okay.
big hitters, or they're one camp of big hitters, I should say.
I gotcha.
And so this is a track called "Quick Joey Small, Run Joey Run." The vocalist
Joey, run.
for this track is, in fact, Joey Levine, who we first met a few songs ago with the Ohio Express. He was basically taken in under Casanets and Cats. So he was on a lot of their songs. He wrote a lot of songs for them, with them, etc. This whole song is about a prisoner who escapes over a wall while being weighed down with a ball and chain. And I can't help but listen to that.
Damn, he's in a tight spot.
Yeah, but I can't help but put, having looked into a lot of this stuff now, I can't help but put some weight on this stuff, which is that I actually, there's some kind of bad blood between Joey Levine and the Super K Cats, because
really?
they work on different stuff at times, and then they come back together later on down the road, but there's some animosity with each other.
I gotcha.
And I think it really came down to royalties. And again, these are all fake bands. So the singers, are like, "Where's my royalties?" And they're like, "No, dog, you sang this. I don't care. Like, it's our production.
We paid you to
it's
sing.
ours.
Your job is done here."
So it was always money. This is from their second. So the Casanets Cats Singing Orchestral Circus put out 2 or 3 albums. The first one is so bananas. The first record was they decided they were going to pretend like they were having like a big label review type thing, and they were going to have all of their bands play like this live, like live at the Apollo type feel, but it was going to be at Carnegie Hall, right? Completely fake. The whole thing was recorded in a studio with a band of anonymous people, anonymous players, and then they just used all their band's names. That song came from the second album, which basically did the same thing, but with only 5 of the bands. But again, none of those bands are actually on the record, and this cat, Joey Levine, sings all the songs.
Oh, geez.
So it's really weird. But anyway.
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, continuing on with some of the sweetness and the candy theme, I'm going to start this track, Schroeder. You give me a sign if you happen to pinpoint who I'm playing while I tell you this story.
Okay.
So this weekend I'm at home, and I just turn on YouTube. And they're playing Coachella, right? So they're streaming Coachella. I was like, cool, let me can't you see who's playing, Candy. And I turn on one of the stages. They've got 6 of them. You got to pick one and hope you're going to catch something cool when you look at the YouTube screen. And I click it. And before me is this majestic 78-year-old man that looks somewhat like Jennifer Aniston, and he is just working the stage in a way that I can only pray I am capable of doing at the age of 78.
Yeah, is this Iggy Pop?
This is Iggy Pop, Schroeder. Good job.
Yeah. I knew I recognized the baritone. It's just you don't ever hear him sing like this, except for those few records that he did with like Lou Reed and David Bowie, I think, when he was like trying to clean up and went to Berlin, like The Idiot.
Very good point. This is from the record Brick by Brick, where they kind of like purposely went for that pop angle. And there's a special guest vocalist on here that I personally love. Have loved even since I was a child. When they play, I'm gonna give you another opportunity. Something tells me your ear's on point tonight. You're probably gonna get it. But let me know what you got.
Hell, I'm glad you got out, but I miss you.
Yeah, I recognize that song. I mean that voice.
I've had a hole in my heart for so long.
Huh.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite singers.
Can I get a hint?
From the 80s, 90s.
You got a hint?
All right. It'll probably give it away. This person, if they were going to pick their favorite place in Italy, it would be Rome.
That did nothing for me.
Perhaps. they would live in a shack.
Oh! B-52s.
The
Wow.
B-52s.
That took me way too
yes.
long.
Yes. Kate Pearson from B-52s is singing on this track, and it's magnificent. I'm here for it.
Dude, yeah, how did they link up with each other? Do we know any backstory there?
I don't know how they got connected, but it is part of that whole Iggy Pop, let's go pop phase, and maybe, and it, you know, it's called Candy. It's a pop song.
Yeah.
It's got freaking Kate Pearson from B-52s. I give it a 10 of 10.
Yeah. I mean,
Look,
tough era for a pioneer, right? Like, this is, he's technically aged out of the youth demographic at this point because he's probably mid-40s or
Yes.
something at this time. So it's
but
you try to
can
stay
Iggy
relevant.
Pop age out? Is Iggy Pop able to age out?
Well, I would personally say I don't like this era of his records, and I own 3 of them, and I don't like them. I own them, and I'm like, I don't know why I own this, but there they are.
It's okay, Schroeder. It's okay, Schroeder.
You know, it's just, it's one of those deals where, you know, it's like watching a bulldog that is just like, gives up the fight. And you're like, oh no, that bulldog ain't got no fight left. You know what I mean?
Well, I can assure you, Schroeder, after watching Coachella this weekend, that 78-year-old dog has plenty of fight.
Nice.
My God, I don't know what kind of regiment he's on, but he's crushing
Yeah.
it.
I mean, also, let's not forget, you know, I can eat my own words at the same time. He did also appear on a quite amazing album called Relationship of Command,
Oh,
which
dude.
is, you know, and it was like having him show
Yeah.
up on an At the Drive-In record was like, whoa.
Say what?
It made
Yeah.
him cool, hardcore to me, but it made them
Mhm.
like elevated at the same time.
More than
It
just
was-
a small hardcore band.
Yeah, they were no
Like, they
longer
got
just
Iggy
an El
Pop on the record.
Paso band that like went
Yeah, yeah,
weird
yeah,
on
yeah.
stage. It was like, oh no, they're
Right.
serious, and they're on Beastie Boys'
Yeah.
label, and Iggy Pop is there.
It was like, oh,
Get
I
out
have
of
to
the
take
city.
a listen to this.
All right, so this is coming in. We've officially crossed over to 1969. This is a song that does also work for, you know, because it's all bubblegum. You know, some of these track titles do also elicit the sweet tastes. This one could go that route if you decided you wanted to interpret it
Yeah,
that way. This is The Shadows of Night with a K, so like knights in armor,
Okay.
and their track,
Okay.
Shake. Now, what's...
No milk needed, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it rips.
Yes.
But what's funny about this band, they started off as a quote-unquote punk band. But
Are you
at the time period, that would probably be more aligned to like a garage band. However, the band, as they all do, actually broke up, and Jim Soanes, who was the founder of the band, kept the name, reworked it, got a new backing band in the form of studio musicians, and then signed a deal with Super K. So this was a weird departure from their other releases with, I believe, Decca, where all of a sudden now they're on a bubblegum label, and people were kind of like, oh, that's odd. But like as soon as he got there, he immediately started butting heads with the two Katzes. And basically, he got ousted. They had, let me make sure, yeah, they had Joey Levine come in. He re-recorded and overdubbed so much stuff on the album. And then I think they only kept the Soanes, they only kept his vocals. But then everybody involved with Super K and all that stuff, they took all the production credits, they took all the writing credits. So the one guy who actually had a band that he broke up And he had everything taken away from him in the end. And this is what's actually...
C'est la vie.
This is actually a really fun fact for me. After having this failure hit him in the face, it wasn't really a failure, it was a hit. It was a massive hit. But not for him. He got nothing of it. And so he really tried to stay alive in the music business, ending up as the tour manager for a band called Skafish. Are you familiar with them?
Skafish?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, dude. I love Skafish. So they're a Chicago band. They were formed by a dude. His name is Jim Skafish. But really, more importantly, his cousin is DJ Bobby Skafish. And he was like, for a very long time, the dude for Chicago radio.
Okay.
Like, he controlled the airwaves in Chicago. And Shadows of Night are from Chicago as well. So it's just kind of fun to see this dude who had a band from the early 60s with that song from 69 end up in the 90s as a tour manager with a band that I love.
Yeah.
But is still connected inside that Chicago scene. Anyway, fun fact, loved it. If anybody is interested in learning more about that stuff, there is a great book. It's called We Have Company, 4 Decades of Rock and Roll. And it is by Bobby Skafish. And it is a definite worthy read if you're into punk rock, garage rock, that Chicago scene. Mwah. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So anywho.
Gonna add that to my Goodread list.
Yeah.
No doubt. Okay, Schroeder. I have to say, when you disclosed your method for this episode, I was really happy because I knew you wouldn't pick the same track as me, because I came into this one, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna pick this track. I even went and bought a little something just in case. So we had like a little surprise in case we picked the same track. But that's not gonna happen based on what you told me, and I am so glad because I love this song so much. Schroeder, Sugarcane,
Yeah.
Sonic Youth, let's go.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I ever knew that was the name of this song.
Dude, this is everything I want in rock and roll music right here from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Give it to me directly in my veins, please.
I've actually been messing around with a few of the tunings that Thurston and Lee Ronaldo would play around with.
Yeah.
It's always fun to play
So,
in detuned, gross settings.
Yeah, this is from 92. Album's Dirty. Produced by Vig, Butch Variety, and Sonic Youth, of course. This is right after Nirvana's Nevermind album.
Sonic Youth also responsible for them getting on DGC. Nirvana.
There you go.
They were acting as A&R at the time, I believe. They helped a lot of people get on DGC. Fun story that I like. I don't know if it's from this album or the era. It's definitely earlier era Sonic Youth stuff, so it could be like mid-'80s. But they were in whatever big-time recording studio in New York City, where they're from. And tons of guitars. All of them have different tunings. It's a very My Bloody Valentine situation where every guitarist has its own song because its tuning is odd. And then there's 2 people playing guitar, so there's double the amount. They were like, they were, whatever they were doing, all the guitars were there. They decided, let's go have a lunch. They all leave. It was either the studio, I think it was the studio owner, because it was somebody who's not always there. But he comes in and is like all excited because the whole studio is abuzz about this band being in. They're super hip, they're super cool. So he goes into the studio to check out the thing while the band's away, just to see what's going on. Strums his fingers across one of the guitars and goes, "Oh, this guitar's out of tune. Let me help them out." So he sits down and
Oh.
he retunes it to standard, and then he does another one. He's like, this one too, my goodness. He retuned.
Oh.
This is the story I hear. There might not be a lot of truth in this, but it's a great anecdote regardless. He retuned every guitar. So that when Sonic Youth comes back into the studio and they hit the downbeat and it goes regular sounding, they're like, what? Because they don't know.
What happened?
My understanding is like they didn't know what all the guitars were tuned to. It was just what they were tuned to. So they just bailed. They were so furious. They're like, well, we obviously can't do anything here anymore, so we're leaving. And that was how those sessions ended. And it was just like,
jeez.
yeah, if it would have, it had to have been the manager, because anybody who would have done that as a studio worker, that is cause for a firing.
You're fired.
Big.
You're way fired. Schroeder,
Yo,
I have a question for
hit
you.
me.
Do you remember the music video for this one?
Were they on a merry-go-round?
It features a young actress that is now quite famous.
Alicia Silverstone.
That would be Aerosmith.
She can do more music videos than her daddy's.
How about a young Chloe Sevigny?
Sevigny.
Chloe Sevigny. Sevigny?
Oh, yeah.
From Kids, American Psycho, and Gummo, which I happen to know are 3 of your favorite films.
Yes, true. I might own 2 or 3 of those on VHS tape.
Maybe.
Gummo's a tough watch for me these days, honestly.
Damn.
I don't know what's changed. But I mean, yeah, talk about revolutionaries. I think what I learned along the way was that Thurston and Lee took guitar classes from this dude Lamont Young, who is like he's the king of New York City avant-garde, was a student to John Cage. He has a space in New York called Dream House. That's just a giant open room that's this beautiful, hazy, purple, reddish, pink color. And he just plays drone music 24/7. You just go in, drop a couple coins in a hat, hang out for as long as you want. No phones are allowed. Just sit in the sound. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
But yeah, 2 guitar players that were so abstract that influenced almost that entire era's sound.
Oh, 100%.
But I don't even know that they cared.
No, I don't think that was the intent.
No.
It just happened that way.
Yeah.
And that album, Dirty, was kind of like that Iggy Pop, Brick by Brick. It's one of their more Sonic Youth's more accessible albums, I should say. And if that like struck a chord with you, they put out one in the 2000s, Rather Ripped, that I think really kind of was in that same vibe. And so if you dug that track, check out Sonic Youth, check out Rather Ripped.
There's also
Can't say enough about how much both of us love that band and how they've influenced a lot of what we listen to.
I was also going to say there's I believe it's a live album. I haven't listened to it in a little bit, but it's called In Out Out In, I think.
Okay.
And it'll make you think you're not listening to Sonic Youth. It's really catchy.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm going to have to check that out for sure.
Also, no, I mean, I can't stop talking about him. I'm so sorry. I just picked up this awesome Lee Ronaldo record called From Here to Infinity. At least I think it's like From Here with an arrow and then it says Infinity. But it came out in like 1986. And I just got it from the record store.
Huh.
But what's cool about it is that the record actually doesn't begin at the beginning of the side. You actually have to go in about 2 inches where the first song starts. But then it's every track is separated by a chunk of blank wax. But every track is just guitar feedback that ends with a lock loop. So if you just let it play, it'll just sit on that ending rotation of each song for infinity. And I mean, if you want to have a spaced out, and what's cool about that is that you can listen to one song for as long as you want, which means I've gotten
until the needle wears out.
yeah, and then you go to the next track.
And then you go to the next track.
But 1986, it was recorded in 1983, released in 86, but
That's
he's already
wild,
doing
man.
that stuff. Like, that's just bananas to me that they were that forward of a band in that realm. Just like, it was art, you know what I mean? And
yeah, 100%.
you gotta love a free thinker.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Schroeder.
so we're gonna clean it up a little bit more.
Okay.
Speaking of Sonic Youth at their more poppiest, this one is actually maybe one of the dirtier sounding sonically tracks in my list. I would say it is as close to lo-fi as you can get in this. But this introduces
this is that garage rock, huh?
this introduces kind of a new camp, specifically a cat named Ron Dante. But this is a song called Little Little Lollipop by the Detergents.
The Detergents. Let's get clean.
But you can kind of hear that like blown out. It's messy. It's gross.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What's interesting about the reason why that is that the Detergents is a 3-piece quote unquote band, but it was actually made up of Ron Dante, Danny Jordan, and Tommy Wynn. All 3 of those cats were actually writers and singers for Alden Music, which was kind of like that Super K thing. It's another publisher. But what's really cool about this camp is that Alden Music was founded by this dude, Don Kirshner. He began, I believe he invented the concept of the Monkees.
Oh, wow.
And the Monkees do kind of count as bubblegum, at least for their first 2 albums.
You have to.
But
Yeah.
he had a falling out with the Monkees because he's kind of a micromanager, and they were like, hey, we're real people on the
bunch of
TV
monkeys?
show. We want to go do tours. We want to actually
Yeah.
start writing these songs and being like a band. And he went, no, I can't
Yeah.
control that. And so they went, you're fired. So
You're
he
fired.
went on to do the Alden Music thing. This one's also really weird because I have 2 different compilations that this song shows up on, but on one of them it's as the Detergents, and then on another it's as Ronnie Dante, and that's because since these cats were all writers for Alden Music, the 3 dudes, Ron, Danny, and Tommy, were working on this before they were the Detergents, and they were known as Cabin Kids. But then old Donnie Kirshner came in and was like, hey, can you, I got this song I want to parody. Can you do that? And then we're going to call your band the Detergents. And then they were like, oh, well, we like that name. So they just kind of stuck with it. And that's that one.
Nice.
Also, fun fact, Alden Music, also based in the Brill building, and Alden Music is really what created what's known as the Brill building sound. And that's basically everything we've been hearing. It's just a really produced, studio-centric, teeny bopper girl groups and teen idols. But anyway.
I got you. Yeah. All right. Well, as I kind of forewarned you, Schroeder, and the audience, as we progress through this candy-laced playlist, things are going to get more and more
dirty,
intense, dirty. Speaking of Sonic Youth, dirty.
Yeah.
This one, though, a rock track, a newish, I don't think they're brand new, newish young band out of Austin, Texas, that is just ripping up the punk scene and just got to play. They were small print band name for Coachella, but got to play Coachella. And Schroeder, if you're not familiar with Die Spitz, you need to be familiar with Die Spitz. out
That
of
does sound
Austin,
vaguely
Texas.
familiar.
Oh, dude. This band is ripping it up. Think Sabbath. Think just your true dark punk rock. Black Flag, let's go.
I mean, it's got a tinge of Surfers in there too, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's grimy. It feels dirty like Surfers.
It is a band of young ladies that are just absolutely shredding. If you've not seen any footage of Die Spitz, I highly recommend checking it out. You can obviously catch some of that footage on YouTube for Coachella.
Man, really promoting a thing that we're not getting paid by.
Yeah. They were going to play a small music festival out this way in my neck of the woods in Texas, but had to back out with medical issues. I was totally bummed. One of the bands I wanted to really catch because, I mean, as you can hear, they rip, and this is just a smattering. This band's called Die Spitz. This track is called Red 40. Do you understand where that gets into the candy theme there, Schroeder?
Yeah, it's like a dye that's used in tons of stuff.
Yeah, that would be the color for your M&Ms and Skittles that may or may not a doctor, help lead to ADHD and or cancer. Not a doctor.
I do think it's also what makes Big Red soda red.
Has to be, dude. Has to be.
You did make me think of when you first said Red 40. I don't know why, but my brain went to that old school, now defunct malt liquor called Red Dog.
Yes.
Don't know why. It's not like I don't think about that malt liquor ever, but I've had it and it was wild.
And you definitely don't think about turning the bottle cap upside down and putting your thumb over the face.
Right.
And think of Batman at all. All right, Schroeder, clean it up for us once again.
Bro, you don't know how clean it's about to get. So,
shit.
So we're in the year, let me look here. I think it's 69. Yeah, we're still in 1969. The bubblegum thing is officially popped, and also 67 to 70s, pretty short time period. So a lot of this stuff is like happening in a span of months between each other.
Yeah.
And as soon as a band is popular, it's gone again because they're not real bands.
Yeah.
And to really show that off, the most quintessential sell it to every kid in America 2 times over is the Archies. This is their first
Archies.
song, Bang Shang Lang.
Oh, watch
And
out
yes,
now. Oh, shit.
I mean, yuck. But we're getting into full blown. We are clean cut here. This is obviously this is based around the fictional band from the comic strip. This also is the band that kind of created that whole weird phenom of the late 60s, early 70s Saturday morning cartoons, where it's a group of young people, usually in high school, solving mysteries and rocking out while doing it.
Scooby-Doo!
And so, again, this is our homie Kirshner that we just met in the previous track. He concocted the idea of taking the Archies comic strip and turning it into a musical act out of spite. It was an act of revenge towards the Monkees.
That's the best kind.
Yeah, this is very real. He was so mad at the Monkees that he decided, well, if I can't control them, I'm just going to use cartoon characters. Because then, if somebody acts out of line, I just fire them and put somebody else in their place. It's a cartoon. Who cares? So
you can just erase his ass.
Yeah. And so the singer for this track is yet again Ron Dante, who we just met, and he will continue to show up. But in an interview, Ron actually said that with the Archies, it lasted as a cartoon for 3 seasons, and this is back when they were doing 20 plus, almost 30 episodes a season, right? 3 songs an episode, plus 5 albums and a 6th that never got released. So he was, when he was contracted to do the Archies, he was singing 4 or 5 songs a day, and he was doing that every day. He said he probably, over the course of like 2 or 3 weeks, he sang about 200 songs just for the cartoon version of the Archies.
Damn.
And then, but also, people are probably more familiar with the Archies through their song Sugar Sugar, which actually gets mixed up.
Oh, honey,
That's
honey.
right. And a lot of people think that's the Monkees, but it's not. It's the Archies. And the Archies are a cartoon. They are as proto-gorillas as you can possibly get.
Oh, pre-gorillas.
Yeah. Yo,
Little
if
baby
you love the
gorillas.
gorillas, you're going to love the Archies. Said no one ever.
No one ever. Okay. So, yeah, I may have let this cat out of the bag. So here we go with Sugar by System of a Down from 1998, the year I graduated high school. Woo!
Dude, I'm telling you right now, when it clicked over earlier, I immediately knew what I was listening to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it takes...
Dude, yeah, you know, come on.
Sugar!
This is a fantastic track.
Fantastic.
It doesn't matter if you're a pop fan, a metal fan, what kind of like...
Hey, do you like big operatic voices? Great, this is the band for you.
Yeah.
Do you like militant
God.
people who constantly wage war artistically against of Western civilization? Then this band is
Right.
for you.
Kombucha mushroom people.
When they showed up, it honestly felt like a breath of new life had been pumped into the dead corpse of nu metal, and something
God,
different
100%.
started. Like, I feel like they opened up the
100%.
door for bands like Mudvayne. No, not Mud. Maybe it was Mudvayne. Like War Makeup and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah, just
opened
getting a
the
little
door
weird
for
with it.
Slipknot, I feel like. Because all of a
yeah.
sudden, there was something more than just being like a sad bastard and drop D tuning on a 7-string guitar. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need
Yeah.
drop C all the time and sadness.
All right, Schroeder, I got another quiz for you. It's 98. It's System of a Down. Who do you think they hired to produce this record?
Oh, I knew this at one point, honestly.
I got hints for you when you're ready.
I know it's not Albini, and I know it's not Vig.
Correct.
I know it's their Los Angeles band, and so it all happened there. I think it was even recorded.
It is on the West Coast. You are so
Yeah.
hot.
Was it was it the hobo hillbilly himself who passes himself off as a guru, Rick Rubin?
Oh, you've nailed it once again. You just got to say his
Yeah.
name. You say his name 3 times in the mirror, he'll appear.
Okay, so we're continuing on. The polish is getting stronger. We are in 1969. We are still hanging out with Ron Dante because he's just making hits, baby. This is another one of his very fake bands called the Cufflinks with their track Tracy.
Tracy.
This was... And now you can really hear what's happening, right? The machine has realized the
It's
most
cranking.
marketable thing. This could be, you know, again, this dude, Ron, was in a band called Detergent. This song could easily sell Bounty like nobody's business if you needed it to.
Yeah. The
but-
fresh fabric softener.
What's cool about this track is that all of these vocals are Ron Dante. So he did one full pass on the lead.
Okay.
He doubled it a couple of times and then, quote, recorded about 16 to 18 background vocals himself. That's everything we're hearing in the background, which I think that's hard to do.
Intense.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
But the band itself was created by this cat, Lee Pockris, and Paul Vance. They also wrote this song. Funny enough, this writing duo also did the song Catch a Falling Star, if you're familiar with that old classic.
What? Yeah.
But what's really rad is that as this song entered the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, Sugar Sugar from the Archies was just leaving the number 1 spot. So this Ron Dante cat at one point had 2 hits in the top 10 that he sang, but no one ever got to know it was him. Which is just like, he is stated as saying he was super excited because he's hearing himself on the radio all the time, and he gets to go like, that's me. But then somebody's
but
like,
nobody
no,
believes him, right?
that's Archie, dum-dum.
They're like, prove it.
That's a cartoon, dum-dum.
Yeah.
You're just some guy in the
Yeah.
line at the supermarket with no money.
Wait a minute. Your name's not Archie.
Yeah. But so this was going to be possibly a longer-lived project because it did do super well. But actually, the homie Dante left this project because he had just received the contract to do the Archies as his thing because it had done so well. So, again,
Gotcha.
another one of those bands lasted no more than a fortnight.
No more than a fortnight. There you go. Well, you started that track off talking about polish. Let's go ahead and polish the old-fashioned nugget for Cake.
Oh, dude, I was hoping you'd put a Cake track on.
Ooh. All right.
Tell me about them. Give me some deets.
This track is called Nugget. Simply Nugget.
Yeah.
And as catchy and poppy as it is, it's a quite bit hardcore. So if you've got kids and pets, you might want to hide them now. This is from '96. Good sir.
Dirty words.
All kinds.
He uses all the words.
Actually, this one's just got the F word.
Well, it's got other words. I'm hearing him say other words.
Oh, yeah. And that F word is for the man, quote unquote, whether they are elected or corporate. This is a message for you with a mouthful of cake.
Love it. Fun fact. The homie Adam Chimeo over at the Quack 12 podcast, one of the best Oregon Ducks podcasts I've ever been a part of or listened to in my entire life. One of his homies actually landed the gig as the touring bassist for Cake. And talk about a good time. Like, it sounds like they're all just wonderful human beings, and you're just road dogging it, making your bucks on the big stage.
Dude,
But
that's...
so because I guess I don't know who this bassist is. I don't know his names. I just know he's a friend of Adam's. But I guess if he has management or something. But he got an opportunity to go and audition to be in Gwen Stefani's backup band for a tour.
Oh, wow.
And so he, this is all according to Adam, he grinded in a short period of time, learning all of Gwen's songs.
Yeah.
Gets to the audition. Because, he's in a band of good people, he's decided to be a good person. He goes, hey, look, just so you know, like, I haven't had a whole lot of time to practice this stuff, but I promise you, I'm going to get it. I'm here. Because he's a pro. It's not like he's bad. He's going to nail it.
Right.
But so they go, don't worry, it's all a backing track. You just need to know how to dance. It's just one of those moments where you're like, and there's the truth about the biggest performers. It's all backing tracks. You're just there
All you
to
gotta
look
do
good.
is just
It's like, oh.
get it on.
Which is, talk about a dream gig, though, honestly. Like, oh, I don't actually have to know how to do this. I just have to, like, learn how to do-si-do. Let's go.
Yeah, just move around cool, which I'm not equipped with those
Well,
capabilities,
dude, I mean,
so it's not a gig for me.
they have a choreographer that'll be like left foot, right foot, left.
Yeah, right. They'll teach you the moves.
You know,
even.
you just got to do it.
Oh, all right, Schroeder. I'm coming up towards my end. I've got one more track for you on the old official list here. What you got for me?
You've only got one? I've got two. I thought you had 11.
I've got one on my official list, and I've got a little outro action for you, you know.
This one is our first. We've been sitting in one building this whole time. For real. We have not left a building. Finally.
That's amazing, dude.
The glummy grossness of New York City New York City is shed because we're going to LA, baby. Hollywood. This is Tommy Rowe with his track Dizzy, still 1969. This was written by Tommy Rowe and this cat Freddie Weller. But more importantly, this is the Wrecking Crew. So this is like what is considered by so many people to be the best studio band, which also consisted of like 20-something people, and it was just who's together on what day. If you're not familiar with the Wrecking Crew, there's a documentary called The Wrecking Crew. It's fantastic. I'm very familiar with them because obviously they're the most famous studio session band ever. So, they're a giant part of just what I was growing up on. But fun enough, what's cool about Tommy Rowe is that he's actually kind of considered like the archetypical bubblegum artist. He's like really square looking, but like cute, I guess. So he's like the teen idol heartthrob dude. Oh yeah. What's interesting about him is that he actually had a string of hits in the early 60s. So by the time this comes around, he's kind of old and outdated, which is to say he's 5 years past his prime. And so he actually did this track in the hopes of cashing in on this like bubblegum resurgence deal. And then lo and behold, everybody's like, oh, Tommy Rowe, I miss this guy. I love this guy. And it was all good for him. It actually, the success of this song even got him a guest appearance on Green Acres. Which is just like, so much trash.
So he was taken off.
He had already taken off. He was on autopilot, hoping he didn't have to land soon.
I guess you should say. Yeah. And then he landed on a farm. Key change. Oh, watch out.
But yeah, you could also tell this is quintessential because it really never moves away from that hook. You're constantly being hit with the dizzy, and then a couple of lines here about whatever thing he's talking about, probably love, because she makes him dizzy. But quintessential bubblegum, 3 chords, rinse, wash, repeat, add some strings, call it good.
Yeah. Yeah. So the last track was Cake. Do you have a favorite kind of cake, Schroeder?
A donut.
I guess you could like a cake donut.
Donuts are cakes, dude.
Yeah. I got you. I don't know if I agree with you, but I hear
Hey,
you.
hot dog is a sandwich.
This is Hoe Cakes by none other than MF Doom.
Now, this is from an album that's completely food themed. Am I right?
Yeah, it's got some kind of thing going on there everywhere.
What's the album called?
It's food.
That's right. I wanted to say, I wanted to go, oh, food, but I was like, that doesn't seem right.
It's just in which, you know, metal fingers, metal face, who's to say, MF Doom, who has multiple aliases. If the listener's not aware, you are listening to a true villain.
Mad villainy.
With multiple fake personalities from King Ghidorah to even more. Victor Vaughn. Who knows who you're looking at? In fact, you could even go see this artist, MF Doom, live, and there was a chance that the person on stage was not actually the artist MF Doom because he would send up imposters.
Is that
because a villain would?
Is that true? Because I've heard that, but I've also heard that that's like folk tale type stuff. Do we have?
I choose to believe the internet.
What's really dope, I think maybe we went together to this the last you were here, but emo-pop here in Seattle had a hip-hop exhibit for a while, and they have, or if it's still there, MF Doom's mask. Plus tons of lyrics, a beat, all of his like doodads and stuff. It's like, did we not do that together?
When we did it, I don't believe the mask was
okay.
there.
Maybe we just did the...
I think that happened after my latest trip.
Okay. Because, yeah, I do remember we went and saw, like, the basement horror section. Who did the beat on this? Do we know?
This is all MF Doom, isolated, stripped down. And enter one of my favorite things about MF Doom is that sci-fi just clips that you hear throughout his tracks. Especially one of my favorite albums with him is King Ghidorah, which if you don't know about, you know, some sci-fi, find out about some King Ghidorah when you got some time. And honestly, one of my favorite cuts of wax I own in my collection is that King Ghidorah. It's got a insert that you can like cut, and it folds like origami into King Ghidorah.
Whoa!
It's sick. Yeah, one of my favorite records.
Have you done it?
MF Doom, you've got to hear him.
Did you turn it into Ghidorah?
Oh no, it's left in pristine condition as a collector would do.
Not me. I'd be like, let's chop this thing up, baby.
Yeah, let's chop it up, baby.
All right. Final track in my list. We've left New York. We hit LA. But now it's time to go to the UK. This is Edison Lighthouse with Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes.
Watch out now. That sounds quite insinuating.
Yeah.
What are you insinuating there, Schroeder?
Well, what I love about this song is that the kick drum sounds so much deeper and bigger than what all of our other songs have sounded like, which is like notoriously a UK thing because of the Beatles, where Paul was like, he heard whatever record that was coming out of Universal. It was like, I want that low end. Long story short, they revolutionized how kicks were mic'd over there to get a big thunky. But this song was written by a Tony McCauley and a Barry Mason. It went through a couple iterations from artists, failed miserably. Finally, this dude, Tony Burrows, grabbed a hold of it, and he recorded it with session players. And basically, this Tony Burrows dude is kind of like the UK version of all the cats we've met here in America, which is that he's just grabbing a whole bunch of songs, paying for studio time, throwing a singer in front of it, this is actually him singing it. And he might have sang a bunch of the songs as well himself. He wanted to put this song out under his own name, but Tony McCauley basically was like, no, you're not going to do that, brother. And so they were like, but you could call it Edison Lighthouse if you want. And he went, all right, fine, whatever. Actually, details on that. The song hit so hard in the UK that they were asked to go on Top of the Pops. But again, not a real band. So he and the writers had to like work together super quick. They found a band called Greenfield Hammer, complete nobodies. Grabbed them 1 week later, had them on Top of the Pops, miming along to the song. Tony went, I'll be the singer. And he decided, so he sang on Top of the Pops with a band who's just people off the street, basically.
Oh, man.
But then the fun fact on this one, it's really stupid, but I really love it. It was this close to having ABC Dunhill do a version of their own here in America, and they were actually going to give the song to a band called the Grassroots. But the singer for Grassroots, this cat Rob Grill, he basically said, we're definitely not doing that because he didn't want people thinking he was singing a song of unrequited love to his band's guitar player's wife. So by the luck of little baby Jesus, Edison Lighthouse, a.k.a. Tony McCauley, Barry Mason, and Ding Dong, what's his name, Tony Burrows, got to reap all the benefits. And that's my list. That's bubblegum from 67 to 70. There are others, but whenever I heard that your list was shorter than mine, I praised you because what was left was such garbage to me. That I was like, I can't believe I'm going to actually play this and try to give some kind of historical reference to its importance. But I was going to do it. But yeah.
You were going to, for the love of the game.
Final note, I do think it's important to say here that bubblegum was actually a huge factor alongside garage rock that led to that first version of punk. The Ramones cover bubblegum songs. Obviously, they did Rock and Roll High School. You know, they were infatuated with I won't say infatuated, but they were into the concept of bubblegum. So many punk rocker bands got early success with singles because they were covering bubblegum songs from just a few years prior. You know, when you think of bubblegum, it's not all Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys and NSYNCs and your Jonas Bros and your Hansons. There's actually some pretty cool shit. You just have to go way back to the beginning.
Way back.
And then immediately stop.
And sometimes, honestly, I don't know where you go when you want to find bubblegum, but I go to the candy shop.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to end us at the place where you find all the delicious treats. Whether you're a Skittles person,
Facts.
You in for the chocolate? I don't
Twizzlers.
know. Twizzlers. Whatever your flavor. Bring yourself to the candy shop and get you some.
Now, help me remember, who is this?
It's a $50.
Oh, it's 50 Cent.
50 Cent!
Is this the music video where he's doing like a lot of workouts and stuff, like where he's hanging upside down and lifting?
Don't get me lying about the music video to this track because your boy does not know. Here's what I do know. Here's what your boy knows. Is that this young man, who's no longer a young man, but this grown-ass man took vitamin water vitamin water with vitamins, and sold it to Coca-Cola. And that is how one of the, not just in addition to this track, but he was part owner in vitamin water when they sold to Coca-Cola. And that's how 50 Cent turned 50 Cent into a $1.50.
Really?
Really, really.
What came first, hip hop or business sense? Business acumen? Was he rapping first and then investing in stuff like vitamin water, or was he already like, I'm in the business game and I'm making that money and making hit records with it?
Yeah, no, I would imagine a little bit of that chump change came with that early music business, and he said he seems to be honest, truthfully, a very intelligent, business-wise person that knows where to plant.
That's what I've understood.
Those seeds.
I've always understood 50 Cent was of a certain business mind that people found intimidating.
Yes, yeah. He's not playing. To the point, maybe some of our audience remembers a recent documentary that 50 Cent took some of that money and helped to executive produce about a certain artist. Then, shall we name that artist, or is it an artist
We've
that
all
shall
seen
not be
I mean,
named?
I've actually not seen the documentary, but I know the whole story behind it. It's Puff Daddy. Everybody knows. Like, you know what? Dude had freaky deaky parties that he videotaped and would use to blackmail people, I think. Weird move, weird power play, but he did it.
Weird power play. So, yeah. Two things. One,
I love that 50 Cent has always hated Puff Daddy, though. Like, he's always hated that dude.
That's a grudge that goes way back.
It's amazing. It makes me like 50 Cent more. Because it's like, oh, here's a guy who gets it out of the gate, apparently.
Yes. Oh, 50. Like, his smile after he just, like, knows he's got 50 on national television, or he's got Puff Daddy on national television, that smile, that reaction is, it's gold.
It's something. Special guy.
Yes, sir. All right, Schroeder. We have reached the end of the playlist.
We did it.
You know what time. So there's two things we have to do before we sign off each episode. One, I've got a little something in my pocket that I want to bring out and talk about.
Whoa. I know we said we were going to go adult, but this might be a little too adult.
Hey. And then, of course, we've got to pick the theme for the next episode.
Yeah. Well, hit us with some background music
so
while we do this.
2 orders of business. Give me something going. I had 50 going, and it wasn't that long of a track. So
oh, is that all we got?
That's all we got. So
you're gonna make me just dig up a song? Okay, well, what's in your pocket? While I'm looking for a track, why don't you go ahead and tell us what's in your pocket there, and maybe we can do that.
All right, so it was brought to my attention through our various accounts on the interwebs. Two questions were brought to us.
2 questions
from previous episodes.
Okay.
2 questions. One of them is from episode 2, Pet Sounds. And they asked what our official stance on furries was. I'm going to go ahead and admit to you, I answered in the official capacity, but I want to hear from you, Schroeder. What's your stance on furries?
Forum. Why not?
Schroeder's Forum. I said the furrier, the merrier.
Facts.
And for that, we're going to take that as the official Sonic Saturator stance on furries.
I find it absolutely irreprehensible that somebody would take umbrage against someone else having a good time that does 0 harm to anyone. You know what? You want to stick a thing up your butt with the tail on it? Do it, baby. I bet it feels good. I've never done it. I don't know, but probably feels good. If that's your bag,
write me a letter.
If that's your bag, do it, babes. I don't care. Have a great time. Life is for living. We're all going to end up dead.
Okay. With a tail in your ass. So yeah, The second question comes actually spurred from our first episode. And I don't mean that like in our inaugural, but like our first, that was the theme, right?
Oh,
First,
yeah.
exclamation
Well, that
points.
was our
Right.
inaugural show.
Which was about debut albums and the opening tracks to those debut
Right.
albums. And you played a specific track from Beck that surprised some of our listeners because it surprised me, Schroeder. I had not heard that track
Right.
before. And it did surprise some of our listeners, but it also sparked a follow-up question. No surprise. We played Sonic Youth on this episode. We are about the guitar rock. And there's a certain band associated with that guitar rock known as Hum.
Well, hold on. Before we go further, I don't know that you've mentioned who the users are. It seems only fair if we're being asked questions, we should announce who's asking the questions and give proper light to those in query.
So yeah, the first question came from a username that I don't recall,
Okay.
and I'm going to assume is a random potential furry. And we salute you. We see
We
you out
see you,
there.
we love
We
you.
appreciate you. You just keep listening and responding. Thank you. But the Hum question does come from a certain Joe Cormier, who both of us are familiar with. And,
I know
as
that
we
guy.
know, is also a Hum devotee.
You might say he's a humdinger
so-
of a fan.
A humdinger. Oh man, you like the hum and the baseball. A humdinger. Anyway, I'll add that he asked. What do you consider to be the debut album for Hum?
Do you have the
there
question
seems to
specifically in
be-
front of you so that I can just hear the question?
Not word for word, but I've got it down. So essentially, Hum released an album called Fellatio.
Yeah. Filet
With-
show, not fellatio. Yeah.
Correct. This is the Sugar
Sure.
Sweet episode, but
Yeah.
damn.
Came out on 12-inch
it's
records.
called
Yeah.
Fellatio, and it was with a different
Yeah.
lineup
Well,
and a
Wait.
much.
Okay, yeah,
hold on now.
sorry.
It's a different lineup. It is a different sound than those familiar
Correct.
with Hum would recognize. Then that band's lineup changes. Their sound evolves and
Yeah.
changes. They release
Electro 2000.
Yes. And so that comes out, and if you were to ask the band today, based on the research I found, they're going to tell you that Electric 2000 is their debut.
That's
album.
true.
Not Fellatio,
Right.
which is under the Hum name, different
Yeah.
band, different sound. So again, audience wants to know, Schroeder, what's your take on that? It is Hum that released an album independently.
No, I mean, obviously the band is right. Whatever the band says is the truth. But to get into the details of it, so Filet Show and Electra 2000 were both on a label called 12-inch Records. However, Filet Show had a number of problems with it, one of which was Matt, one of the two main guys who started Hum, along with whoever the other guy was that ended up leaving after that record because they butted heads. And then Matt became the singer, and all the lyrics changed, and that's why Electra 2000 sounds so different. Is Matt is now taken over those lead vocal roles.
Gotcha.
Fellatio, it was the very first release for 12-inch Records, and 12-inch Records was honestly only created to kind of bolster the where are they from? Like Champaign, Illinois, I think. Like
the Chicago area,
Champaign.
for sure.
I think it's Champaign. It was just there because there's a lot of good music in Champaign, according to these two people, and they wanted to preserve and present that. And so Hum was one of those. It's the first release, but it had a short run. It was CD and cassette, which is kind of cool. It did have a short run. I am assuming this is all in conjunction to my whole thing with Beck.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. So, because I mean,
Okay, I get
do
where-
believe
I
your
get-
takeaway from that conversation was that that the track you played from Beck was in fact
right. We
So,
could have.
Here we are, Schroeder.
I see where this is trying to go. I see what Joe is doing. He's trying to be clever, but you can't get me because
Trying,
it's easy.
I think it's pretty clever point there.
No,
Schroeder.
it's really easy, and it's the same answer as the Beck. It's the second record because Filet Show, outside of all the issues that it, like, whenever they printed it, they didn't understand, like, the label didn't quite get how color worked on, like, in the computer and then being printed out. So the colors were wrong on, like, the words filet and show were supposed to be red or something, but because they didn't map that correctly, it came out like this, like, pink color. But on top of that, Matt does not like that record at all. And my understanding is he actually has
based on interviews.
a couple hundred copies of the cassettes in his closet. And they ain't ever going to see the light of day.
Never coming out.
I do know you can still find it. It does exist in the world, but it is really more random, or when you open up somebody's, like, storage room and your locker or whatever, and you're like, wow, there's 100 copies of this Hum record in here. But yeah, you're right. It sounds totally different.
Storage unit in Rockford.
Matt doesn't like it. It's a completely different lineup. They also, the guy who left was the original singer and songwriter. But what's also cool is that with Elektra 2000, they brought in this guitarist who was kind of like a metal dude. And I kind of think he helped shape some of that, like,
that riffage.
The riffage. I think the riffage, I think he maybe, I don't want to put too much on him because I don't know full credentials there, but, like, I can only imagine he excelled at making those things sound rad. So I agree. Oh, and also, I don't think Filet Show is available on streaming. I think only Elektra 2000 and beyond.
No, it is not. If you, I checked that. If you go to the band streaming, the first thing that comes up is the.
Yeah. So I mean, the answer is exactly as the same as Beck. It's album 2 is the first record. That's the most correct, and it's correct for all the same reasons. Beck didn't like his first album being re-released by a label because, that was like a separate thing. Hum just doesn't like the first record. That's fine.
Yeah, right.
It's also a totally different band. But there could maybe be an argument made. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah. No, the answer is Elektra 2000. It's pretty simple, cut straightforward.
Yeah, I kind of side with the band as well. If you ask Matt and he tells you one thing, I believe the man.
And I'll tell you this: this coalesces into another phenomenon that happens a whole lot in jazz that kind of rubs me the wrong way, which is post-mortem releases that will just be anything. It'll be anything that anybody had property rights to from the artist. And it's one of those deals where it's like, if the band or artist doesn't want that record to be in the public, then that record shouldn't be in the public. But in jazz, a big thing is you'll get tons of, like, Miles Davis rarity albums that'll come out all the time. And it's like, dude, Miles Davis didn't release this for a reason.
Right.
There's better stuff to him.
Yeah.
So why are we releasing it because he's not here? So it's like, it kind of falls into that. It's the band wishes is the truth. If the band doesn't like it, then it's not it. Sorry. Call it a test run.
Yeah. I mean,
a trial by fire, and it failed because they got in a fight.
No, I'm totally with
Boom.
you, Schroeder.
Nailed it. Try again, Joe Cormier. Best me, brother. You can't do it.
The challenge has been
gauntlet
laid down.
thrown.
The gauntlet. Let's do it. All right. So
let's ask the big bad brain what our next topic is.
Yes, let's see what's up. All right, here we go. The brain is working. Let's see. Here we go. Our next week's theme is one word, and that word is vertigo.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Dang, this was going to take me a
indeed.
long time to think about.
Oh, Schroeder, I hope you've got your thinking cap on.
I have.
Keep your balance straight.
I'm going to tell you the first thing out of my head right now because it's probably not going to be what I go with, but immediately I think soundtracks.
Yeah, much like your playlist today.
Yeah. You know, it's going to go. My first thought is soundtracks. Which, like, you could do, like, a lot
Are
of
you
Goblin
thinking-
albums because he did, like, they did Suspiria and all those for Argento. So, like,
Now, I don't want to speak too much into the next episode. Is it the Hitchcock in Vertigo that gets you thinking soundtracks?
well, yeah, Hitchcock's Vertigo. Is the word
I'm excited for next
is the
week's-
word vertigo or in vertigo?
No, it's only one word. The word is
Oh,
vertigo.
okay. Vertigo. Okay. Well, I'm going to break that sucker down into syllables, baby. We got a vert.
That's right.
Oh.
You've been breaking down my 2-word themes that the brain's spitting out, and the brain said, not today,
Here it
Schroeder.
is.
Try to break this
Just
one.
to get a glimpse into how I work, here's another one that I will not use, but vert to go. Touring skate punk. Music that's been featured in skate videos. That's another way that you could spin that one. Vert to go.
Dude. Oh, Christian Slater, I hope you're out there listening.
He doesn't skate.
He did in that one
No,
movie.
dog, that was
shit.
Tony Hawk and Rodney Mullen standing in. That fool could barely stand on a board.
All right, Schroeder, let's sign off. Let's send the folks home. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Hopefully you don't lose your balance. Vertigo coming at you next week.
Yum, yum, yum.